Hey everybody, Sanavi here, and I just wanted to take a couple minutes to talk about the progress I've made during the first week of the league on my SSF character. I actually started out playing hardcore trade, and I got through T16 maps and was working on Void Stones on day 2 when I died to Exarch. At that point I had the choice of playing a regular trade on the character. However, I wanted to play SSF for quite a while now and commit to it for an entire league. And since it was day 2, I decided I actually want to give that a shot. This league mechanic is really good for SSF right now. The tree prints 6 links like crazy. So one of my biggest hurdles early on in a SSF environment is just actually getting 6 links. But the fact that the tree gives you such decent bases and fractures on 6 links is kind of insane. So I've gone SSF. This is what my character looks like after about 6 days playing SSF. I got really lucky early on. My first Blight Ravage map, I got the Stampede, which was really fortunate. It enabled me to go Cyclone of Tumult pretty early. The rest of my gear is pretty standard, just life and resistances. My weapon isn't too amazing. I would like something with quite a bit higher physical DPS, like 8 to 850. So right now I have this T1 Fizz Hybrid. The base isn't too good. So I'm hoping that just pumping staffs out of the tree for the next few days will give me either a 27 to 30% quality base on an Ezomite, or a T1 or T2 Fizz Hybrid on an Ezomite base. So I'm holding on to this one right now, but I'm hoping that I get a better crafting base to work with in the next few days to make a much better weapon. In terms of Atlas progression on this guy, I've done, where's my tree? I've done my 4 Void Stones. I've done almost every map. It's SSF, so I'm missing about 3 unique maps, so I'll be trying to play around with Kirac to get those finished up. And then my current farming strategy is just basically doing essences as well as harvest for crafting. And then just for fun, I really like Ritual, and there's the off chance that I might get like an Omen of Connections or something, which would be pretty crazy. But yeah, essences, harvest, ritual, and then I'm also doing some harbies because the annulment orbs are really nice, and eventually I'll get a few fractured orbs over time. I've already gotten, I think, a couple fracturing sharps just from doing a little bit of harbies. So could YOLO on a base and maybe get the, a good hit on a T1 or T2 Fizz Hybrid. So that's pretty much what I'm doing for my Atlas progression. I'll go ahead and show you what the character looks like in a map real quick. I just have a simple out and go, and we're just going to use that tree I'm using for farming crafting resources right now. I'm going to speed through this so you can kind of see how the build looks, but it's pretty much buttery smooth. Ritual is a really nice mechanic. You can make some decent money off of it. There's a lot of things that Ritual gives you that people don't realize the value of, and also it's just a really fun mechanic for the build in general, because we're playing Cyclone and you can kind of just hover around the Ritual altar and kill everything. But I've really enjoyed playing SSF this past week. It just, I don't know, it's kind of a vibe. Don't have to, as much as async trade is amazing, it is nice to just kind of not have to worry about trade at all. And you do engage with a lot more of the different content in the game because you have to craft your own gear and do things a little bit different than just saving up money and buying what you need on trade. I think my mapping strategy is probably going to be running either the Strand or Dunes. I think is what I'm going to probably want to run long term. So right now I have Defiled Cathedral favored, and the plan is to essentially run that till I get Nameless Seer, and then I'll scry the cards onto either the Strand or Dunes, depending on how I feel, and that will probably be the map that I run indefinitely for quite some time. And as you can see, I mean, the gameplay of Cyclone is really simple. All I'm doing is holding down Cyclone right now. I'm not doing anything else. Occasionally I use Frostblink or Leap Slam to move around. So it's really cozy to play. It's really nice. I'm gonna try to find the boss real quick. He's probably somewhere around here.
Approach, challenger.
There he is. And that's it. We're gonna just check Ritual Altar real quick, see if there's anything interesting here. I'm basically just looking for like Omen of Connections on the off chance that I get really lucky with it. So I flip through the first couple. If I don't see anything crazy like that, then I'm kind of picking up like the essences, because I'll be able to use Harvest Bench to flip these into hopefully Contempt essences. So that's pretty much what the build looks like. That's the current state of my gear. Like I went over, pretty mid staff, got me through all my Void Stones, and now just T16, probably some 16.5 farms. The rest of my gear just life resistances, nothing too crazy. The chest is, you know, just 3000k plus armor. Unfortunately, it has this life mod on there, so I can't run 15% mastery on the tree. And then, yeah, Stampede boots. I qualityed my Assassin's Mark first, which is what I recommend, because this gives you the chance for consistent power charges on single target. And then I've just slowly worked on qualitying the rest of my gems up, and eventually I'll start corrupting like supports and stuff to see if I can hit that 2120. Let me go over the POB real quick. There's been a few updates. I've made some slight tweaks, nothing too noticeable. The biggest thing is I have added my graph recommendations to the 90 plus loadouts. So I feel like hardening is really good. You get additional PDR, and then the global physical damage is really nice, as well as impale. This helps us with a little bit chance to impale if you need that, but also the increased impale effect is really nice. So I just pretty much genned up some basic graphs like this and threw them into the trees. We get some pretty nice damage boosts from them for our overall build. In terms of Bloodlines, I have looked at the Bloodlines and nothing really is standing out to me quite yet. I looked at Ashabi, and unfortunately, say we drop like Impact or Headsman and we try to make this work, we're not generating enough rage for our rage to constantly be capped. So right now we have like 40 rage on our tree. If we go Ashabi on average, and this includes speccing some points into rage on the tree to increase our rage hit generation every 0.5 seconds, we're gonna have on average like 30 rage instead of 40, and we lose all the benefits of say Impact or Headsman. And even with the increased physical damage and action speed, the DPS gain is very minimal. We also won't have, based on feedback from people that have tried this on trade, you won't have like consistent uptime on the stun immunity, so you still have to keep a point and unwavering stance. So I think Ashabi might still be good, but you would need to find ways to generate your rage so high every hit that we gain back our rage quick enough to almost be max, or be much higher than just half our rage pool. And you'd still have to probably take unwavering stance just to not occasionally get stunned. So this doesn't seem as promising as it did at the moment, but I might be missing something that we haven't figured out yet. As for the rest of the ascendancies, nothing really seems appealing to me. What I'm probably going to do on SSF, which I wouldn't recommend on trade, is I'll probably take this like Progenesis one from Delirium, because I'm not going to have Flame Flesh Jewels anytime soon, or Storm Shroud. I'll probably make a Cluster Jewel setup, and I will probably run something like this for just the defense, and I might drop, say, Impact for this, for the overall just beefiness. But if you're playing trade and you're getting your Storm Shroud Jewels, your Flame Flesh, your you know, Light of Meaning or Lethal Pride or whatever, you can't do any of that with this, and I wouldn't recommend giving up that for this. So this is something I might pursue on SSF just to make the character really tanky because once I craft my staff and I get like an 800 plus PTPS, I'm going to want to push into T17s, and having something like this for the defense I think would be really nice. But if you're playing trade, you have better options for defense than I have in SSF at the moment, and I wouldn't be giving up all the DPS gain you get from all those other jewels. So that's kind of where my head is right now for the Bloodline Ascendancies. I'm still listening to the community who's playing the build on trade to see if anything else kind of stands out from testing. But right now, Slayer provides just a really consistent kit of tools for Cyclone in particular, and it feels really bad dropping any of these for any of the Bloodline Ascendancies that I've been looking at so far. So that's kind of where we're at. There will be an updated POB in the description of the video, so feel free to take a look at it, but mostly all I've done is cleaned up a few things and then added the graphs to the 90 plus loadouts. The rest of the tree is basically the same. I have been getting one question about the Giga in-game tree in terms of the Maelstrom staff. This is just a weapon I had that I simmed in. Ideally you still want to use an Ezimite staff base. It's going to just have the highest crit chance, which would still provide you theoretically with the most damage. So if you're wondering why I go from using a Ezimite staff on this tree to a Maelstrom staff on this one, you still want to use an Ezimite staff base. This is just what I had. But yeah, that's currently where the character's at. I'm going to be streaming over the next couple days and trying to make a better weapon and just doing various things on SSF, so feel free to stop by if you have any questions about the build or you just want to see the current progress that I'm at. But yeah, it's been a blast so far. I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to seeing how far I can push the build in SSF. And yeah, thanks for all the support, and I will catch you all later.